Hey, what's up? This is Marcus with Machine City Audio. In today's video, we are going to take a look at the SC208 studio monitors from Eve Audio. Now, as with my reviews, this isn't a paid review. I got to turn the monitors in when I'm done, so this isn't going to be biased or, pushed in one direction. You're getting an honest review. So before I jump into the review, I want to talk a little bit about the company and give you a little backstory. So Eve Audio started in 2011 in Berlin, Germany by Roland Stens. And you may look at these and say, you know what, something about these looks familiar. And that's because Roland was once also the CEO and founder of Eve Audio from 1999 to 2010. Then fast forward a year to 2011, and now you got Eve Audio. I'm going to jump into some of the technical aspects of the monitors, but I'm not going to go too deep. So if you really want something really deep, I will leave a link below and you can check out the specs in its entirety. But just to go over some of the specs, again, these are two-way monitors. You have an 8-inch woofer. They have a frequency response from 36 Hertz to 21K. If you turn these over to the back, you have a connection for XLR and also RCA. These are rear ported, and they also come with AMT, which is air motion transformers. And what this does is give you a more precise response of those higher frequencies. AMT also cuts back on air fatigue as well, so you can listen to these longer and mix longer. Now, each one of the monitors come with DSP. These allow you to control the volume electronically, as well as the high shelf, the low shelf. And you can also control, if you have these sitting on your desk, you can also dim the LEDs on the actual volume knob if you need to and if that bothers you. When I first pulled these monitors out the box, set them up, I did not like the sound of these monitors. And there's a certain reason why I didn't like them. I felt they were a bit harsh in the higher frequencies. I also felt like the mids were a bit too much. Can't really pinpoint exactly what it was, but there's a reason why they sounded like that, and that's because you have to burn these in. They have a burn-in period for about 1 to 2 days. I like to let them burn in for about 5 to 7 days personally, and that's so I can really let my ears adjust to how they sound in this room. Now, I started to notice quite a few things as these opened up. I noticed that the highs became smoother, they became clearer, more detailed, and just even more pleasant. Like that harshness was gone. As far as whatever was in the mid frequencies, that was also gone. They became smoother as well. Now, the low end out the box sound great, but all I can tell you about the low end, and it makes me smile when I think about it, is the low end sounds really great. The low end is really punchy, really detailed, and just focused. Like it's really focused and solid, deep bass. As I said, they are rear ported, so I was a little concerned about them being rear ported because I've had bad experiences with monitors in the past that had rear ports on them. But Eve Audio has done it right. And like I said, this bass really can't be matched. Any monitors I've had in this room, bass-wise, Eve Audio crushes. This is the best sounding bass I've heard on a monitor, period, in this room. So the quality of these monitors, they're built great. They're built like tanks. I feel like these are going to last me a long time. But the overall experience with the monitors, I've gotten some great mixes on them. I just feel like they're great monitors from the stereo field, especially the low end, the mids, the highs. Everything on these sound really good. So now I want to get into the DSP part of these monitors. And in my opinion, this is what separates these monitors from other monitors out there. Now, the way they power up is gradually. So when you first turn them on, they cycle up really slow and kind of ease into the volume. And what this does is protect your monitors from getting that loud pop that you normally get when you turn on some monitors. And it also goes down the same way. When you power them down, it also goes down. And that's a really great feature to have because it protects your monitors from maybe blowing out a speaker or something like that, because that's the last thing you want to do when you pay for something that costs this much. The next thing is the volume knob. You have visual representation of the volume for both the left and right monitor, which seems like a small thing, but it's really a big thing in the whole scheme of things because you want to make sure that each monitor has the correct level of audio, and you can do that. As I said before, you can control the low shelf, the high shelf, whether you have them sitting on a desktop. It even says it on their desktop. And then you have where you can change the LED lighting. So if you want to back off the lighting if it's too bright, or if you want to turn it off completely, you can do that. And one thing I noticed too is it also saves your settings. So if you turn these off or put them in standby or whatever, and you have them at a certain volume that was perfect for you, you have them at a perfect setting for the high shelf and low shelf, it'll save those settings and you can store those. Now, I'll admit, the one thing that kind of bothered me and that I kind of wish they would have did was put the power button on the front. That is on the back, so I still have to reach around back if I want to turn them on or off. But there is a way around that. I just put them in standby mode. And to put them in standby mode, all you do is hold in the button for about 3 to 5 seconds, and then you'll see the light kind of cycle down, and then now they're in standby mode. So this is normally what I do. Instead of reaching around, turn them on and off, I just put them on standby mode, and then when I'm ready to use them again in the morning, I just fire them up and I'm ready to go. Now, if that wasn't enough with everything I just explained, you still get one more thing, and they give you what's called a grid. And what this grid does is protect your tweeters. Really thoughtful to me, because I never actually seen that on the monitor. I don't know if other monitors do that or other brands do that, but that's a really good feature to have, for the simple fact that you never know what can happen in the studio. You can knock over the speaker, you could, move it and do something to damage those tweeters. And that's the last thing you want to do, again, when you're paying for something like this. So that's really well thought out. And when I think of these monitors as a whole and think about everything, from the build quality, from the sound quality, from just the small little details like the DSP and the grid to help protect the tweeters, I feel like you get your money's worth. And I feel like when you invest in these, you're investing in a product that is meant to last. Now, I know some people are going to ask me, what is the difference between, Eve Audio, Atom Audio, Focal, which sounds better? Honestly, I don't like to really tell people which ones sound better or which one you should go for, because there's a lot of things that play factors in that, what you're looking for in a monitor. No two people hear things the same. You might have acoustic treatment, you might not. You might have 7-inch, 8-inch, I don't know. There's tons of reasons why I don't tell people that. But what I can tell you, like I said before, bass-wise, this has the best bass I've heard in any monitor that I've reviewed so far, hands down. So that much I can give you. Anything else, you got to try them out for yourself. Listen to them in your room, see if there's something that you want, something you want to invest in. But if you have any questions, just hit me up. I'll try to answer whatever questions I can for you. So that's all I got for you today. I will leave a link below if you want to check out Eve Audio and do a little more research on them and maybe see about investing in a pair of these for yourself. I am Marcus with Machine City Audio. Peace, and until next time.